Bonjour peeps. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Communications from Home, a live stream show right here on Facebook at our main fan page, which is Star Nation's radio network, magazine, and publishing public page. It's a long name, right? So welcome. It's Tuesday night, October 30th, and we're just so close to being at the end of the month, aren't we? Hi, Cindy Lynn. Good evening to you too. Good evening to you too. Thank you for being here with me. Tonight is all about the guided meditation. It's an ancient way of connecting and remembering, really, our connection to Grandmother Earth and Grandfather Sky. I was just looking at George. He's with me tonight. Yeah. You might hear a little squeaking in the background because he's got one of his toys. Hopefully he'll fall asleep. Hello, Robin and Polly Joe. Hi, welcome, guys. Excuse me. I had to laugh. George and I were working things out. He's such a good boy, but the thing is that he's 3 months old and he's really, really energetic, right? And so I've resorted to slipping him a Mickey when he's up here with me. It's called Lavender. Yeah. He doesn't really like the smell of the lavender, but within about 5 or 10 minutes, he kind of calms down and he's more restful, right? Yeah. Got to do what you got to do. I love the smell of lavender. And I have the altar all lit up tonight, burning some white sage, getting us prepared for our meditation tonight. I'm just giving a few minutes for people to come in to the chat, those who are going to be joining us. In the meantime, I'm going to take my phone and I am going to share out the show. And if you wouldn't mind doing that with me as well, I'd really would appreciate it. That'd be very nice. And the reason why we do this sharing of the shows and liking actually of the shows is because it helps us to be in the newsfeed more often. And when we're in the newsfeed more often, the souls that are looking for this kind of information, they can find us so much easier, right? And so we know Facebook, that elusive creature is what I call it. We know that it really likes when we like or love a broadcast, a live stream. And it's even better when we make comments, but it really, really likes it when we share it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it to my timeline, my newsfeed, and just to let my friends know that I'm live streaming. And it just doesn't take very long. And to please join. There. That one's done. And I'm going to actually share over to the Star Nations Radio Network closed group. Now, that closed group is where most of our most active community members hang out. And so I'm going to share it over there. And, if they're like me, sometimes what happens is that I mean to watch a video or to mean to be a part of a live stream show, and I get busy with something and lose track of time. And so this is just a nice reminder that the live stream is going on. And please join me. There we go. There. Anyway, I always have to make sure that I check the right boxes for the closed groups. There we go. There. That is done. Yay. All right. And so, thank you, Cindy Lynn and Polly Joe. Thank you for sharing. And Rob here, I do a morning, or I used to do a morning, an afternoon now live stream show. It's not really a show, I guess. It's a bunch of us getting together and we talk about the card draw that I do every day. And that's what they call a native live stream on Facebook, which means that there's not a third-party app. And for the live stream shows that happen in the evening and during the day through Star Nations Radio Network, we have a partner called Be Live TV. And it's that partnership that allows us to do those neat things like I just did and show Robin's comment to hello to everyone and Polly Joe's hi. And that the Polly Joe shared and that Cindy Lynn said done, liked and shared. Thank you. And so it's our partners at Be Live TV app that we can do those kind of cool things. And we can also show pictures like this. When you're doing a regular native live stream just with Facebook, you can't do this kind of cool stuff, right? Yeah. So thank you to them, right? Be Live TV, our partners who power these kinds of shows for us. Tonight is all about the Unity Breath Meditation. And there's a couple of things I want to share with you before we get started. For those who may have not done this meditation before, and for those who have done the meditation but not very often. And so it's a nice kind of refresher of our intention and certain aspects of the meditation. The Unity Breath Meditation I learned in the early 2000s. It was right around the time that I activated my Merkaba. And in that activation, we were taught this meditation. And over the years, it has evolved as the Mayan elders and other indigenous elders start sharing more information and sharing about things that have shifted because the energy is different, right? It's shifting into what we would call the fourth and fifth dimension. And so when that started occurring, the Mayan elders actually made a statement, a public statement, and this was a few years ago, that they were now including a fifth element, which is ether or spirit, because they were doing, much like the North American natives do, is the four directions, right? That's what they were doing as well. And then they added the fifth element, spirit. And in Feng Shui, we call it ether. But, and also in sacred geometry, that is the void, right? Okay. So when those shifts and changes happened, we also feel it in the meditation. And my teacher, John Villo, Melchizedek, the last time that I had a class with him, which is a few years ago, he was telling us a little bit more about the Unity Breath Meditation and also a meditation that is called the silent language of the heart, right? And the way that he explained it, it was about how indigenous people have always known this fact that I'm going to share with you. And when we go back far enough, we're all indigenous people to some continent, even though you may be several generations living in the United States or in Turtle Island, as we call it. Your ancestors came from another continent, right? Your indigenous ancestors. And even with them, because comes from the ancients, is that there is a vibration, a certain vibration, a certain frequency that connects us to Grandmother Earth and Grandfather Sky. And when we bring that to our consciousness, our everyday life, we are in resonance with them, okay? Which means that we are vibrating closer to our original frequency. Why do I say that? Is because it's the frequency of love. And we all had that, and we still have it at a soul level when we first came into this physical experience, right? And so it is also an act of remembering more than learning, an act of remembering. And whenever I say that, it always feels good, it's kind of like a feeling of coming home. When you've been gone for a few days, whether you're on vacation or you're traveling for some reason, maybe work or whatever, and you've been gone for 4 or 5 days, maybe even longer, 12 days. And when you get home, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm home. And the first night when you sleep in your own bed and how nice it feels, it's kind of like that feeling, the feeling of coming home. So with that, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures here. We have something that flows through us constantly. And many times you don't even recognize it because you're not awakened to it, right? And most of us here at Star Nation's community, we've at least heard about it or read about it, and that's universal energy. And universal energy flows through us constantly. It comes down through the top of our crown chakra and up through our root chakra, and it's a constant, gentle flow, and the universal energy is at the frequency of love. The universe is love. And so it's constantly flowing through us. And when we turn our attention to it is when we remember that feeling, that frequency, right? That's one layer. And as that universal energy flows through us, it creates something called a toric tube, a toric field. If you look down at it from above, it kind of looks like a donut. And we have it, but so does Grandmother Earth. And this is, I love this picture of this. This is kind of a depiction of it. You can see the line flowing through the top and the bottom of the Earth, right? And you can kind of see the shadow circle around the Earth. That's the toric field that's being created by the universal energy as it's flowing through. And because she has it, Grandmother has it, so do we. And this is a nice picture of how the universal energy flows down through the top of our crown chakra, down through what's something called our crystalline tube. It's also known as the pranic tube. And it flows down through us, right down through the center of us. And that is down through our chakras. Yep. And those people who study the chakras, you might know it as the Hara line. Okay. And here we go. This is another nice picture to show how the pranic tube runs down through the center of us. It's also known as the Hara line. And the pranic tube, let me see. And the pranic tube is, it runs down through the center of us. It's also known as the crystalline tube, right? And it's about the diameter of your wrist. So if you measure your wrist, and so that's the smallest it will be. It can be much larger. Okay, that's one of the changes with the new energy field that we're in, is that our pranic tube, our crystalline tube, is much larger in diameter than it's been in the past. And why is that? It's because we're taking in more universal energy, and we are multidimensional beings. And so those of us who remember what it's like to be in those multidimensions, our crystalline tube expanded in order for us to take in more energy, right? More energy. All right, so here is another good picture. I like this one. This one shows the toric field that we create from our heart. Okay, and that's the smaller toric field on the inside, closer to the body. Our heart creates and generates a field. And some of you might know that our heart has all of our memories, right? It's the repository, if you will, of all of the experiences our soul has ever had. It's the place where our Akashic records reside, and we have full access to it anytime we want, right? We have to remember how to get there, but we do have the access. All right. And hey, Ed's here. And they just finished up an Awakening Illuminated Heart class over in La Crosse by Ed's dojo, his warrior hall. Congratulations, Ed. I know you got a lot of those classes under your belt. And so with this meditation, there's a couple of things I'm going to be asking you to do. And that's using your imagination. What I'd like you to do is to be able to use your imagination and bring to you those images of grandmother and grandmother Earth and grandfather Sky that you just really love, that you really appreciate. Okay. And for grandmother Earth, it could be any place in nature that you've ever been that you just love being at. It could be your own backyard. It could be at a park, a state park, or a national park. It could be anything that's connected to grandmother Earth. So that includes your pets. That includes your children. So what we're doing is we're bringing the images of something that we just dearly love. Okay. And I'll help you with that once we get to that part of the guided meditation. Hey, Esperanza. Here we go. I forget to show these. It's good to have you in the house. And Cindy Lynn says hi and welcome. And that was to Ed. There's Ed's. Yeah. So we're going to be using our imagination, right? And, we have studied this many, many years, is that our mental mind, our brain, when we use our imagination, it can't tell the difference between an image that we bring into our mind or actually being in that place or with that person. And so when we bring those images to us, to make them as real as possible. In other words, using all of your senses. You're going to be looking at the color of the grass or the ground or the trees. You'll be smelling the aromas of grandmother Earth, whether it's the flowers or the pine trees, those sorts of things. Okay, so bringing all of those memories from your senses to the forefront. And if it's a child or a pet, remembering what it felt like to hug them, to have them in your lap, to make it so real that they're actually with you. Okay. And it's the same way with grandfather Sky. We're going to be bringing images that we just love and appreciate about grandfather Sky. And that, anything that reminds you of that beauty, whether it's the sun, the full moon, the stars, rainbows, fluffy clouds, whatever it is that you just love and appreciate about grandfather Sky, bringing those images to you. Okay. And the last image that we'll be bringing to ourselves is this one. Either a sunrise or a sunset. One that you just really love. Because, we all have those moments where we've witnessed a really pretty sunset, whether it's, over the ocean. Those are fantastic, or when I'm over in Michigan and I see the sunset on Lake Michigan. It's gorgeous. It's those times that we bring to our memory to remember what it was like when we saw those colors, right? As the sun starts to set or to rise. Those times are beautiful. And we get to see that twice a day, right? Morning and evening. And so pick one. And it's okay, really. It's okay during the meditation if you go from one image to another. Let's say you start out with the sun and then you want to go to the stars. That's okay. As long as you make it real for yourself, to really take it in and remember with all your senses All right. And so it's okay to kind of go from place to place if you want, as long as you feel the feelings with it. That's the most important part. All right. So this particular meditation, the unity breath meditation, brings us into the frequency of love. All right. And so what I'd like you to do, we're going to get started. What I'd like you to do is to get as comfortable as you possibly can. What you'd like to have is your arms and your legs uncrossed. You want to be an open circuit for the energy to flow through. Okay. And you want your back as straight as possible, as comfortable as you can be. All right. And it's okay if you want to lie on the floor, as long as you can still hear my voice. I'm not going to be showing anything. So you don't have to worry about missing, like an image on your screen or whatever. As long as you can hear my voice, that's okay. If you want to lie down on the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, you want to have both feet flat on the floor. All right. And so that means that you may have to put some pillows or cushions behind you in order to give you that kind of support on your back. I want you to be as comfortable as you can be. Okay. And if you're sitting on the floor, you want to make sure your legs are uncrossed. Okay. There's not many people I know that can get into the full actual lotus position comfortably and stay there for, 20, 30 minutes. And so you want to be comfortable, but not cross your legs, because then you're closing the circuit, right? So I like this one. Polly Jo actually uses this on her show too, is that if your legs are kind of stacked on top of each other, that's okay. Or, you know how kids sit on the floor and they have their legs spread out? You can do that as long as you're comfortable. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you a second or two to do that. Some people like to take off their glasses and their jewelry. You don't have to if you don't want to, but just to be comfortable. Some people do. And when we get started, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to help you get relaxed. Okay. Many people just got home from work or just finished up, cleaning up the kitchen from supper and that sort of thing. And so, we kind of have that busy kind of energy still. And so I'll help you get relaxed before we actually get started. All right. Okay. All righty. Here we go. As I get comfortable. And George is already asleep. The lavender kind of did the trick, I think. All right, so take a drink of water. And so the first thing I'd like you to do is to take a big, deep breath in. And when we do that, we're really going to fill up our lungs. You're going to feel your abdomen, your stomach kind of extend a little bit. We're really filling up our lungs. And then you're going to really blow out the breath, okay, on the exhale. And we're going to do that twice. All right, so here we go. We're going to take a big, deep breath in, really filling up your lungs and feeling your stomach, your abdomen come out just a bit. And at the top of that breath, just holding it just for a second. And on the exhale, really blowing it out, okay? There you go. Yeah, Cindy Lynn, just do the best you can. And if you have to shift or whatever, that's okay. You can do that. It's just more important that you're as comfortable as you can be, okay? All right. Good. Now just breathing easy and naturally. And it's okay if you need to shift around a little bit. Okay, we're going to take that next big deep breath in, really filling up your lungs, holding it for a second at the top of the breath, and really blowing it out. Okay, big deep breath in. Holding it just for a second and blowing it out. And then just breathing easy and naturally. That's good. Now I'd like you to turn your attention to your feet. Just notice them. Notice how they feel. And now notice your calf muscles. Just noticing them. And now notice your knees. Notice how your knees feel. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And when you exhale, you can feel your feet and your calves and your knees relax. Feeling your legs relax. And now turning your attention to your thighs, noticing how those muscles feel. Just noticing. And noticing how your hips feel. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can feel your thighs and your hips relaxing. Feeling your legs relax. Turning your attention to your stomach muscles. Just noticing them. Noticing your diaphragm. Noticing the muscles across your chest. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can feel these muscles relaxing. Relaxing. Now turning your attention to your low back. Just notice how it feels. Noticing your mid-back and your shoulder blades. Noticing the tops of your shoulders. And now noticing your neck. Just noticing how it feels. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And on the exhale, you can feel your back relaxing, feeling your shoulder blades relax. Feeling your neck relax. Feeling your muscles loosening up and letting go. Relaxing. Now notice how your fingers feel. And your hands. Noticing your forearms. Your elbows. Noticing your upper arms. And your shoulder joints. The joints of your arms. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And on the exhale, you can feel your hands and your arms relaxing. Relaxing. Notice how your jaw feels. And the muscles around your eyes. Noticing your forehead. And your ears. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can feel your body relaxing. This muscle smoothing out. Letting go. With every sound that you hear, and with every breath that you take, you just become more and more relaxed. More and more relaxed. In your imagination, imagine being surrounded by a white light, bathed in this white light all the way around you. This light is the Creator's protection. Allowing you to even become more relaxed. In a moment, I'll be asking you to take another deep breath in. But this deep breath, what I'd like you to do is to imagine a white mist coming from your mouth when you exhale. Okay, here we go. Big, deep breath in, really filling up your lungs, and on the exhale, seeing a white mist. It's good. Just breathing easy and naturally now. We're going to do that one more time. Big, deep breath in. On the exhale, seeing a white mist coming from your mouth. That's good. And just breathing easy and naturally. And now turning your attention to your crystalline tube, your pranic tube that runs down through the center of you, bringing in universal energy, prana, and just notice what it feels like to have that gentle flow of universal energy flowing down through the top and up through the bottom of your crystalline tube. It's a gentle flow. Just noticing it, sensing it, feeling or seeing it, that universal energy, that gentle flow. Knowing that each of us, all of us, are sharing in that pranic flow, that universal energy flowing through us, connecting us. Now bringing to you the images of Grandmother Earth, those images that you just love and appreciate about Grandmother Earth. A place that you just love in nature. Noticing what it looks like here. What it feels like. This is a very special place to you, for you. It's so beautiful. Noticing the color of the ground, the grass, the trees, perhaps the ocean or a quiet lake. This place is so beautiful. And now bringing to you someone or something that you dearly love. It could be a pet. It could be a child, your child, a grandchild, a niece or a nephew. If it's a pet, noticing what it's like when you hug them and their fur or their feathers. Their unconditional love for you and how much you love them. If it's a child, remembering when they were little and they could sit in your lap. How they would hug you and you hug them. Pure love. And notice where you feel this love for Grandmother Earth. Notice where you feel it in your body, in your physical body. In your imagination, imagine gathering all of that love that you have for Grandmother Earth and placing it into a beautiful crystal. And with your intention, sending this gift of love down to Grandmother Earth, down to her core, her heart, your gift of love. Telling her you love her. Grandmother, I love you. Grandmother Earth, I love you. I love you. Sensing, feeling, seeing Grandmother Earth's love for you coming to you, surrounding you, filling you up. And just notice how this feels in your physical body to be with her, to sense her around you and within you. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And as you exhale, turning your attention to a night sky. And bringing to you all of those images that you just love and appreciate about Grandfather Sky. Noticing how you feel about the stars, the Milky Way. When you're gazing up at a full moon, notice how it feels to feel the heat, the warmth of the sun. Perhaps it's a clear blue sky, or a sky with puffy white clouds. Imagine what it feels like when you see a rainbow. Just notice what it feels like in your body when you're feeling the love that you have for Grandfather Sky. The beauty of the stars, the sun and the moon. And now gathering all of the love that you have for Grandfather Sky. Gathering it. And in your imagination, placing it into a beautiful crystal. All of your love for Grandfather Sky. And with your intention, send this gift of love up to the sun. Telling Grandfather Sky that you love him. Grandfather, I love you. Grandfather Sky, I love you. I love you. Sensing, feeling, seeing Grandfather Sky's love coming to you, surrounding you, and filling you up. Notice how it feels in your physical body to have the love of Grandfather Sky with you, filling you up. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And as you exhale, bringing to you images of a sunrise or a sunset. Noticing how beautiful it is. noticing the colors, noticing how you feel about this beautiful sunrise or sunset. It's so beautiful. This is the love of Grandfather Sky loving Grandmother Earth. And they share it with us twice a day. We get to see it in our physical world, the love that they have for each other. And just noticing in your physical body what it feels like to witness their love. Noticing what it's like to have their love surrounding you, and how the love of a sunrise or a sunset feels inside of you. Bathing you in their love, their divine child. The divine child, the divine mother, and the divine father, creating the Holy Trinity right here on earth. And through the love, we raise our vibration to that frequency of love, knowing that we affect all of our relatives from this frequency of love. Taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And as you exhale, coming back to your own home, the room that you're watching the live stream from, coming back to the present moment, back to your physical body. Coming back. And when this feels complete for you, opening your eyes, stretching, wiggling your hands and your fingers, your toes, coming back. And for those in the live chat, if you could let me know that you're back, I would appreciate it, just so I know that you guys are still with me. Because you guys really did get relaxed. It was pretty good. Noisy? What was noisy? Was it noisy by you, or I don't think my background was. George is kind of snoring a little bit, but yeah. So it's good that you're back. If you feel kind of floaty and you're not quite back yet, what you can do is you can clap your hands, you can kind of tap your body, you can stomp your feet, getting me back. Oh, so you were doing some clearing. Thank you, Ed. You're back too? All righty. Well, you're welcome, Karen. Karen says, wonderful, thank you. And Robin is saying thank you, and thank you, everybody. Yeah, here we go. Oh, Yeah, it's true. It is saying if you need to stand up and walk around a bit, that helps too. Yes, it does. It certainly does. All right. Well, this is one of my favorite meditations. Thank you, Esperanza, for letting me know that you're here, that you're back. Sometimes also, if you need to take a drink of water, that'll help. Grandmother Earth, right? Water is her blood. And whenever we take a drink of water and we turn our attention to it, we're actually in a sacred moment with her. You know, we can't live without water. Can't do it. It's one of the fundamentals that we need to survive, and she knows that, and that's why she gives us her blood, literally. And so, if you need to kind of ground and come back, taking a drink of water will help too. Coming back in. So, if you notice in this meditation, we don't kind of walk you backwards and, coming back into where we started out, right? A lot of guided meditations, they have you walk in a path, and then when you're done with the meditation piece, they walk you back down the path back to the original starting point, right? Well, with this one, and it's meant to be this way, is that when you come back, you're coming back at the frequency of love. And so you can feel the shift and the change when you open your eyes. And just notice how long you hold that frequency. Because the more often you do this meditation, the longer you hold the vibration and the frequency. It's just a remembering. Our soul already knows this. It's our physical body that we're helping to remember what it's like to be in that higher frequency, that frequency of love. And so, you might want to just notice for yourself, how long do you hold it and when do you notice it starting to fade, right? And this is something I do quite often, actually. I bring those images to me sometimes when I'm doing the most mundane things, like waiting for the water to boil for tea, or if I'm in the car and sitting at a red light or something, I'll bring images of Grandfather Sky to me. And so it's in those moments that we can remember what it's like to have that, be in that frequency, right? Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed the meditation and the frequency, remembering the frequency of love. We do this every month, the last Tuesday of every month, the Unity Breath meditation together. And I enjoy it. I like doing it because I'm doing it right along with you guys. So there's one last thing I wanted to mention before we say goodnight, and that is this. This is the Star Nations magazine. The October issue is out and ready for purchase, and we got some really, really good articles in this month. What do you think of the cover? That's very Halloween-y, isn't it? Couldn't get much more than that. And we have a couple of articles in there about Samhain, the Celtic pagan ceremony, ritual for Samhain. So I'm just mentioning that because we are on the cusp of that. Some people have actually, starting tonight, will do a ceremony. Most definitely tomorrow night, because one of the things I learned from my good friend Amantha Murphy, the old Irish, they do their ceremonies the night before. And so they'll be doing their ceremonies tonight and tomorrow night, depending on which belief system you have for Samhain and Halloween. So enjoy and be safe on your celebrations for Halloween. Yeah, and next week, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing on my show. I should know that by now, but I don't. We'll be doing something fun, I'm sure, or something really kind of cool. Watch for the promotions, and I'll let you guys know what that content's going to be in the next day or two. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here for the meditation and bringing your vibration to the frequency of love. Because whenever we do that, we're helping a whole lot of parts of the souls and Mother Earth, Grandmother Earth when we do that. So thank you so much. And for those who are watching the recording, the video, thank you too. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the evening, and we'll see you next week for Communications from Home. Good night, everybody.